Hi families, I just wanted to elaborate a little bit more on the point that I made in the email about the grading and how we're going to keep it the same for now anyway. So just real quickly, wanted to give you a look at a few things so that you can figure some things out on yourself too if you're still curious. This is a website called corestandards.org, and you'll see that if you want to really investigate how we teach and what we teach, there's a tab right in the middle where you can click on the Common Core, take a look, and you can actually go into any subject that you want. So I'll just click on the language arts for now, and then you can actually pick any genre, so we'll just say literary for now, and then any grade level that you're interested in learning about. And so it will give you an overview, it'll give you the standards that are developmentally appropriate for that age level. So you can go into anything, like I said, you can go into the history, the sciences, you can go into the math, you can go in grade levels prior or after your student if you're just curious about it. If you want to save a little bit of trouble, some of the sections actually have introductions, which give a little bit of an overview, and this is just for math in general for the cohort that I have, the grades. And then if you click on a little bit further, it gives you the actual standards and what they say. At the beginning of the year, we showed you guys in the presentation this overview. Ms. Heller and I spent a few days this summer going through each individual subject. So you'll see we did it for math, we did it for the writing units, the reading, the social studies, science, you get it, for every unit that we were going to teach. And so not only did we take our grade level appropriate standards, but we took the gifted standards as well and linked them to the topics that we were going to teach. So we let you guys take home this overview as well, which has changed once already, and we'll get to that in a second. But it links, all of those standards links to the link to the curriculum that we plan on teaching for the year. Then the next step obviously is, as teachers, this is how I spent my time this break a little bit for the upcoming units, is we take all of the standards that are appropriate for our kiddos and we determine the important teaching points, how we can actually have them experience it or apply it, and then we take it one step further, how we can actually connect it to the real life or something else that we've already been learning about. And then what you'll see, this is just one unit for one subject. So this is kind of a week at a glance. So the big ideas that we're teaching, some ways that they will do it, and then some real world experiences they will have. So this is just for fractions, decimals, and percents for my cohort for this unit. So if you're feeling like it, you can go through and read each of those standards, but as a teacher, it's just natural to understand the content and then understand what that means. So what you'll see is that even with some of the ideas, like comparing decimals, they are taught on various grade levels. So for my group, I know that they'll be able to tackle third grade, fifth grade, and then in some cases a fourth grade or a sixth grade standard, just based on what I've already seen. And those always shift and change based obviously on their assessments and what they present. And then on the survey we had, truthfully, we only had 3 families who were interested in learning more. So we took it a little step further and tried to break down, instead of from the yearly overview, we broke it down into the unit that we were teaching. So this was, for example, math for this unit. They were working on statistics and then fractions, decimals, and percents. And then this is the product that they were going to create. And then Ms. Heller did the same for her kids across the board for this unit. And then we took it a little bit farther, and then we went week by week. And I think the moral of the story, I even had one parent tell me, one who was interested in learning more, she didn't even look at it. So not to say no judgment, just being honest, and that's what we appreciate. But this is the real deal here. So we take those teaching points and then we plan our week around it. And what you'll notice is that Monday usually starts out okay, but then by the time we hit Tuesday or Wednesday, things change, things shift, and then you get the idea. Monday we're pretty set. Oh wait, real learning happens, things happen, and then things get jumbled around. So the point of sharing all of that with you is that just being able to share what they're learning is a little more intense and complicated than what it might look. And so Ms. Heller has these still hanging in her wall. This is just mine that I pulled off the wall from the first unit. Same thing to kind of reinforce the same point is, for us, this might not make any sense to you, but if you asked us or our kids, we know that that means that they were comparing and contrasting on that day. Or these initials probably don't mean anything to you, but my group, if you ask them to sing a song about it, I guarantee that they'll know which one it was. So we have their daily grades based on their understanding and their comprehension for each subject for each day. But I just don't know that it makes a ton of sense to you all, and quite frankly, that's okay. I think if we come back to the big picture, if we ask ourselves why bother, why are we bothering to grade and teach and assess, we want it to continuously be relevant, and for us, we want the kids to own it. And so it sounds nice to put it in a Google Doc and to have you guys take a look at it, but if you're seeing it and you're not really understanding it, I don't know if there's really a point to it. What's worked best for my group is when I know that they're not understanding something, and when they don't understand, that's okay. That's the point of teaching, is so they will understand. But if it seems like a genuine struggle or something that they're just not getting, it's worked best for me to reach out to individual parents and say, hey, Stephanie, Jalen's really not understanding this math concept. Could you work with her on it tonight? And then that happens. And same with Miss Heller. I know she's updating 2 of you all because you requested to know a little bit more about certain aspects of the curriculum. So if you guys are okay with it and trusting our judgment and just continuing from the place that we originated, just being open and honest, for us, it doesn't make much sense to just put numbers into a computer. We'd much rather continue the genuine relationship that we have and just communicating. I think that we were coming from a place of responding to the survey, and in a good way, the only issue that we could really address was 3 of you saying that you wanted more information on the curriculum. So we tried to do that, but just honestly and logically, it doesn't seem like this will be the issue that we'll tackle and make huge adjustments with. If it becomes an issue, we'd obviously still like to hear from you guys, and I think it came from a place of everyone just trying to be helpful. So if we can continue on that route, I don't see any issues moving forward, but please let us know if we can help elaborate any further, and our doors are always open. If you want to ask daily, you're welcome to do that. If you want to do a little check-in to see, you'll see that they are indeed learning, and so we hope to continue that. Have a great night. Bye-bye.